Hello and welcome back. Today I'm here with a movie review. Hopefully I'll have the time and opportunity to do some more of these. There are definitely some more films coming out this year that I'm looking forward to, and uh, hopefully we'll be able to share something about. But today I am here to talk about Predator: Killer of Killers, which dropped on Hulu on the 6th of this week. So quite recent. So there's, I would say, minor spoilers in this review. So if you haven't seen it yet, do be aware of that. I'll warn you before I get into anything that I think would be too spoilery, but user be advised. Um, but getting down into it, for me, it's a little bit of a journey to Predator, Killer of Killers. I was introduced to the Predator franchise through the kind of the shared universe outing they had with Alien versus Predator, and I, eventually learned that that film was not any kind of critical success and it's kind of divisive among fans. But I was like 15, 16 at the time, and I was awesome. And it definitely spawned a lifelong interest in both franchises for me, even though I didn't really end up digging deeper into them until probably years later. But when I did, I did find that I ended up agreeing with what seems kind of like the common consensus among fans of the franchise, that there are some nuggets of gold later in the series, but the newer entries really kind of struggled to hold up to the first two films. And I felt that was the case until Prey came out in 2022. I was really looking forward to that release, and I was very, very happy with it, and glad that it did not disappoint. It really felt for me like a return to form for the series, and it absolutely renewed my excitement for it. And I was really pleased to see that the general reception seemed to be kind of the same, which led to green lights for multiple new Predator projects. And Killer of Killers is the first of these new Predator projects to be released. Um, so I don't think that there's any doubt at this point, but I think that Killer of Killers absolutely is living up to the hype. Um, for me, having really enjoyed a lot of the recent high-profile action animations that have been coming out, like Castlevania and Arcane, I was not worried at all about whether the medium of animation would work for Predator. I saw a lot of people who were, and if you're one of those people, I definitely encourage you to give it a chance. I think that it will really surprise you. Uh, it's also, Killer of Killers is a tight film. It's in an anthology format, so there's three sort of self-contained stories that tie together in the finale, and it's a quick watch. So you're hardly going to be out anytime, even if you don't enjoy it. And because it's an anthology, you could even break it up if you wanted and watch it like 3 episodes or 4 episodes of TV. But that said, I would have absolutely paid to see it in a theater. I thought it was easily that good. Each of the stories is smartly adapted for kind of the genres that are common for the settings that they're taking place in. Um, and the characters are each pretty solid, really solid Predator protagonists. Maybe most importantly, the Predators on show are awesome. Each one of them has a unique design, and they did a great job using their designs to showcase some really cool, varied fight scenes, which, as always, are boosted by these crazy, clever Predator gadgets. Um, there's some fittingly brutal, gory moments that will just feel like a classic for the series. And it was nice seeing them accomplish that as often as they did in this movie and across these different settings. So I think that there's something in there for everybody. Um, and I also think that the movie did a really good job of showing the human characters thinking outside the box in each battle, which I think is essential for a good Predator movie. Um, Killer of Killers isn't perfect. I will say, if I have a criticism, um, and maybe some minor spoilers here, I guess. I felt like the protagonist of the third story, who is a young American hoping to be a Navy pilot in World War II, um, he came across a little bit more, uh, I'll say, naive than the other characters, which is not a bad thing in and of itself, but combined with the sort of style that he had and the acting there, it kind of felt like he had come out of a more lighthearted animation. He had kind of this easygoing attitude, and it was, I would say that it was probably necessary as sort of a foil against the other two more grim, serious characters, but sometimes it felt out of place, um, and it definitely made him feel much more juvenile than I think they were going for. Um, but it wasn't unbearable. What I'll say is his story was still entertaining, and he wasn't like a chore to watch or anything. But that was noticeable. And if I had any other criticisms, I will say that there were a couple parts of his encounter that did strain my suspension of disbelief a little bit, just mechanically with the situations. But generally, it was still a pretty cool story, and as somebody who is a big fan of fighter planes and dogfights, it was kind of something that was always going to land a little bit better for me. So your mileage may vary. I will say the finale had really good action, but I think that there's also a case to be made that some of the way that the situations resolved in the finale were maybe a little bit forced, um, or maybe a little bit convenient. But again, I don't think that it dragged it down or made it completely unbelievable. And as a whole, I liked the ending. It finishes the story well, finishes it in sort of a complete way, but it definitely lays the groundwork for some interesting continuation, or more stories like it with whole new casts of characters. And there's a pretty fun Easter egg before the credits roll. So overall, Killer of Killers is a super fun entry in the Predators franchise. And I'm not going to give it a star rating, or at least not here, but I definitely recommend it. And if you're a fan of the franchise looking for something to help tide you over until Badlands comes out, I don't remember if that's next year or the year after, but I'm willing to bet that this will scratch the itch. So check it out if you can. It's a lot of fun. But that is it. That's my review for Predator Killer of Killers. Um, like I said, I'm hopefully going to have some more reviews to share before long. I'm looking forward to The Life of Chuck that's coming out. I'm probably going to be seeing Superman. That looks like a fun one. I feel like there's something else that's coming up this weekend, but I've forgotten what it was, so maybe it wasn't that exciting. But yeah, hopefully I'll have some more to share soon. But thank you for tuning in, and I hope you'll join me for the next one. But until then, keep your powder dry. This is Death Pirate signing off.